That's starting to be catchy tune.
Yes, it is.
Well, we are back, um, and today is May 1st, 2025. There's a lot of things going on. So, hello, good afternoon, Benton Harbor. Uh, thank you. It's good to be back. We were actually off here a couple of weeks, so we are back in the saddle today. So we'll see who kind of comes on. Now, the beauty of this is you can replay it on Facebook and YouTube, so that's no problem for our regular listeners, and of course the several hundred that listen to us after the fact. So I am Director Dan McGinnis. I don't know if our names came across in the bottom or not. I'm not sure. I saw them. But I'm Director Dan McGinnis, Benton Harbor Department of Public Safety, with the incomparable chief of the Benton Charter Township Police Department, Gregory Abrams.
Gotta say
Don't
my
call me
whole.
Flip Wilson.
Yeah, you my whole government name, sir? No, I'm just kidding. Good afternoon, Benton Township citizens, Benton Harbor citizens. It's great to see another day. Blessed to
It,
see another day.
absolutely. Good to be back. So, just kind of real quick, guys, the reason why we had a kind of a 2 week break is 2 weeks ago was the Thursday going into Resurrection Sunday or that Easter weekend. So, we were kind of both busy, had a lot of things going on. And then last week, kind of funnily, amazingly, I had got some dental surgery done local. It was actually I had a tooth that shattered, so they were fitting it for a crown, and they numbed my gums, Chief. Then I asked them how long would it take for it to go away. They said, "Oh, about 3 hours." And this was about um, this was I think about 8:30 in the morning.
Mhm.
So not only did it not go away, it seemed to spread, and I literally could not feel my nose. So it was really on this side of my gum. So my nose, I literally tapping it, couldn't feel it whatsoever. Drinking water, I couldn't tell if water was spilling out of my mouth. So I really it really wasn't a good, a good situation, and Lord knows how it would have sounded. So that's why we had to kind of abruptly not have last week's show. So I am better. So that was kind of a strange experience. So that's what happened. So we're back today. I will say next Thursday though, we won't be on because we both have people graduating from the police academy.
Yes, we do.
So excited about that. Personnel's coming around. So that's kind of the brief update. Hey, Chief, what's going on with you these last couple of
Well,
weeks?
the reason why I didn't make it last Thursday, or Thursday before actually, was because some people out there might remember Officer Ella Brook. He worked at Benton Township Police Department for about 10 years, and then he went to Baroda Lake Township in Baroda, and Officer Ellerbrook came down with a uh, type of cancer that caused him to lose his
Mm,
arm. So anyway, through
Lord.
months and months and months of grueling uh, hospitalizations, having the arm amputated, he actually rung the bell that day on Thursday, and I was there to record that. Because of the chemotherapy that he was finished with, it worked out really well. So I had to be there for that, because having someone by your side when you're going through such a traumatic experience, it can make things a little bit better.
That is it's heart wrenching to hear that, but it's also fantastic that you went to support him and at the time of need, which kind of speaks to family and what we are within our departments. And that's amazing. Trying not to get emotional because that is an unfortunate situation, but it's great that he had the support, especially when the chief of the department walks in to support. So again, I commend you as I always do. And of course, I look up to you, and that's fantastic, Chief. Great job, and for a not great situation, supporting your guy.
Oh yeah, still family.
What else do you have going on? There's,
There's
I
a
don't
few
know if we can keep this show down to a regular time frame if we were to talk about everything. on both
So
sides.
so we both spoke today about something we were begging our township and city citizens, or the 49022, to start doing, and it happened today. And when you called me, I was just, I was shocked that you had just heard about it as well. And is that was that a suspect was arrested by um, our combined teams, um, because someone anonymously called in and said there was a guy walking down the street with a backpack carrying a gun. Just call the police department, and that suspect was apprehended. The gun was confiscated, of course, and that he is on his way to jail.
That's terrific.
So it's working. Just so everybody knows, you call, it works.
You might want to reiterate that. If you call and report, we're coming, we can take action, it works.
It works.
And I know it's just now starting to get warm, so of course the summer is different than the cold months. But as the citizens continue to take ownership and to trust the system and report things to us that we can take actions on, I know for us personally, and we'll get into this in a little bit, we got some numbers that are down, some arrests are up, and there again, it's been great to have citizens communicate with us and help to bring some stability to some neighborhoods. So again, there are a ton of things going on. We have Blossom Time coming up. We got National Day of Prayer coming up today, which we'll talk about briefly. So yeah, it's funny to have so many good things happening on a positive level for our departments. And again, Benton Harbor really together, it's not just one side, the city or just the township, but overall. And I think that we're having an influence, and the support is really nice. So,
It's funny because the arresting officer told me, they said all they our detectives pointed out the guy, and I just drove up, and he just raised his hands. He didn't run, none of that. I'm like, okay, most folks who got a pistol or any weapon or warrants, they run. We got to chase them. This particular guy just said it wasn't worth it. So
so
that's
what, just to give the people an idea how things work, again, because we work together, your detective bureau, my detective bureau, your patrolman, my patrolman, when we get guns, we have actually, Benton Harbor, we have a trailer that has a NIBIN system in it. What NIBIN is a national I something ballistic network. So what
right.
that is, every gun that's drug fired, we call it tested. That round gets put in a NIBIN, and because it's a national database. So what's nice is, and we were given that by the ATF, we can get a much faster turnaround on gun and shell casing leads, which obviously, if we can cut down the investigative time and can move on things when they're hotter, there's a greater instance of solvability for those cases. So we have the ability in Benton Harbor, Benton Township, we're not actually doing the official test, but we're able to get those entered into the system and generate leads, and that's what it's really about. So that has been helping. So the reason I found out about your gun that you had confiscated in your arrest is one of our detectives was walking out to the NIBIN trailer about to test the weapon. So that's how it works. Again, when we can get um, the information from the citizens reporting suspicious activity, we jump on it. Again, this was a good resolution, and that's how it works. So again, we have the technology. We have a lot of stuff here now that we didn't have before. A lot of stuff that other departments don't have, and of course, we share it, which just helps us to be more effective. So,
That's true.
and I want to say here we got one of our longtime supporters, Ms. Pettigrew. Good afternoon. Good to see her face. She looks like this. Well, there's a lot of them. Again, I don't think, for the interest of time, we can talk about everything today. But anyway, good afternoon to her. Great supporter of the 49022. We thank her. So what else you got, Chief?
Well, I wanted to thank you for your great success, man, in your ordinance cleanup. Oh my gosh. I mean, you guys are making headlines, man, cleaning that city up. Um, I mean, we're doing the same here, quiet as kept. We do what we have to do, but I mean, you guys are really putting your best foot forward to give the citizens of 49022 a great place to live. So, kudos go to you because you guys are doing a great job over there. And I always hear your ordinance officer, man. He is like on it. He's like a pit bull, man. You just can't get past him. I mean, he knows the places where dumping is going on. I mean, he knows all the major players, and he is on it.
He
And,
is.
and our township and the city, 49022 is looking better than it ever has before. And you know, you keep up the good work on both sides, and I think we'll see area more beautified than it's ever been before.
So, well, thank you for that. I still we got a long way to go, but we got to start somewhere. That old
Right,
saying, "Journey of 1,000 steps start with the first one."
right,
So we're doing that, and of course, there's sometimes resistance with that when people have done certain things for years. So it's just a matter of just kind of change behavior and helping. Again, we are not punitive, so whenever somebody wants to work with us, we work with them and we give them time extensions because we don't want to fine you. We don't want to write a ticket. That's not what we want to do. So I'm glad. Thank you for that. If you're recognizing that, appreciate that. Especially because you got your mom still lives in town. God bless her. So you have not only roots in township, but also being in the city, born and raised. So
right, right. So the other thing I had going on is so lately I've had an influx in larcenies and breaking and enterings, and MDOP to properties in our business area.
okay,
So we have increased our patrol in the business area because recently, and I don't have the photo in front of me, someone went to the Family Farmer Home store that's next door to Walmart, and they stole a side by side, which is just a little small ATV golf cart uh, motorized vehicle. Um, Look, it appeared to be a white male suspect wearing red tennis shoes, had his face covered, had a jacket on, had a hat on. But he went inside the gated area of that business and stole the ATV. So we have a BOL on that vehicle right now. So um, we had a, a smash and grab in one of the stores. I think it was Walmart. But that was weeks ago where somebody broke a window, went in and stole a few items. So we stepped up our patrol in the business area, and officers are going to be more vigilant, um, searching for those who want to do our area wrong.
that is definitely troubling. And as you're talking, Chief, I'm sitting here thinking. So the city is only 4.6 square miles, and we have cameras to basically every entryway into the city, which is something that's a little bit more problematic for you because you got 21 square miles, right?
Benton Township total is 30. They say 36, but I think it's 32.
Okay, well, I was off. That's even bigger. So, like, what do we do to help getting some eyes in the sky, if you will, in your big areas? Because what I fear is maybe they say, okay, well, city, they catch us, let's go over here, and that we can't have that, which is even more important. Why we need our citizens to help when they witness these type of things.
Right. Well, we did since I've stepped up patrol. Actually, just yesterday, um, one of my guys was checking behind buildings and checking businesses, and just made an arrest of a guy parked in the back of Xfinity building of all places. Parked in the back of Xfinity building where the old Target used to be, and he made an arrest there. Guy had drugs on him, had a warrant. So and these are the things we're going to start doing. We're going to start hitting those dark corners that people think they can hide, away from us, and we're going to start making these arrests.
Okay, yeah, that. So one thing, citizens, when you happen to be driving and you see something that is kind of it jumps out to you as kind of odd, trust your instincts. I have driven around. Of course, I have a unmarked vehicle, so people don't really recognize me. And I, see cars behind buildings. And if I saw that car, I'd probably be like, hey, you know what? Dispatch. Don't know if this is anything, There's a building parked behind the strip mall, and it's 10 o'clock at night.
All right.
Let us go and be judge of, if there's something or not. But we would love to, hear those things. So here is we got some comments coming in. Oh, look, we have former Commissioner Adams help homeowners purchase home cameras. That's not something that we do, but Brick Sale, who should be called? I would say call dispatch. And there's the non-emergency number is 983-3060. Maybe I'll do a quick card for that, 983-3060. Because again, if you see something, I think a lot of people don't trust kind of their natural instincts, like, that doesn't quite seem right. It probably isn't.
Right.
Every once in a while there might be, but let us go check. Don't be a superhero, don't be dangerous. But a car behind a building after hours is generally 9 times out of 10 nothing good coming of that.
No. So yeah. So and now I'm sure you're seeing the crowds are starting to form. Lions Express, formerly Meeks. We're gonna start hitting that place a little hard because I'm starting to see the old Meeks store congregating again, and we just can't let that happen. So I've already told my officers, when you see them, clear them out. If you've told them more than once and they're back, time to be arrested. We got to start somewhere, and like you said before, we know we can't arrest our way out of a lot of the problems we have here. But after communication ceased to give into action, then what do? You just can't let chaos reign. So you have to make an arrest.
Right.
So my guys, they understand that, and that's pretty much what we're about, about doing this summer. We just can't afford to keep telling the same people over and over again what to do, especially when it's something so easy for them to do, and then they don't do it.
Right. So, Chief, are you seeing? Has there been an issue? Because apparently, I think one of the new spots to have parties is out there at the old Ramada on Ferguson. How have those crowds been before, during, and post those quote unquote events they're having out there?
So far, we have not had any issues, and we've had quite a few at Crystal Square as well. I know Mr. Patterson, who owns Crystal Square, makes sure that whoever throws a party there have to have their own security teams. So thus far, we have not had any issues at either Place Ramada or Crystal Square.
Okay. All right. So he got a couple more comments. We got Lord Mary Allison found us. Grants for first home responder. So one thing you have to realize, police do and fire for us do certain things. Other things are simply out in our purview. So it's not for us to help homeowners buy cameras, and there are no grants for homeowners to buy cameras. So just FYI, Shaq is talking about mental health. I'm not sure exactly what he's referring to, but again,
He's probably maybe talking about the
our job.
program.
What is it?
I'm working on, just slowly but surely coming together.
Okay. All right. So good. So that's that. So that's something that you're working on with him. Excellent. Yeah. And he's actually very, very supportive of us, and we appreciate the things that he does. So.
Oh, did you see the picture? Did he send you the email with the cough syrup that they're mixing with like root beer, Fago, and send a Fago bottle? Yeah.
That's been on a long time.
Yeah, promethazine, I think.
When I was in college, there was guys that would drink cough medicine, especially prescription cough medicine. So that apparently has made a comeback because there's really nothing illegal about having cough medicine per se. But yeah,
unless it's prescription, which that stuff is. That's some strong stuff.
Yeah, and that's good for the.
They call that scissor. I used to always wonder what that was back in the day. And I think that is probably the name of that. And if not, forgive me.
Not the scissor. Not the scissor. You showing our age, Chief. You are showing our age. Man. Okay, so you have anything else before we jump into? Again, I'm gonna try to keep it brief.
No, go ahead. If something pops up, I'll definitely let you know.
All right, so for the city, just updates, just FYI. Again, had a couple weeks we were off, but over the course of those 2 weeks, and hopefully this will give you an idea, Benton Harbor, on the nature of how busy Benton Harbor and Benton Township are. because our numbers mirror each other. Township probably a little more because they have a bigger area. But in 2 weeks from the last show of April 10th to now, we went on 834 calls for service.
Wow.
Yeah. For the month thus far, it had been 1,122. We made 55 arrests in that time frame. If you 30 days, 76. We did have 3 robberies, which I want to look into, but we had 0 shootings. We had 0 home invasions where no one's home was broken into. I'm showing 4 stolen vehicles. Again, I'm not sure if that is stolen and or recovered because the number for that only has 1. So we lump recoveries and stolens in the same one. But that was 4, which is down, but still, any stolen vehicle is too high. So those numbers, again, don't look like they did last summer. We want to make sure we keep them down. I think because of the work that we're doing together, plus the cameras, is really helping. We have, again, there's a lot of things, and we'll probably do a press release, but we received a grant, Chief, for $183,000. So what we're going to use to replace all our radios, because as you know, and citizens, we want you to know that we have, there are certain mandates that come down from the federal government and from the state of Michigan on having to have encryption in our radios, and that's not cheap. And these are mandates. They are thou shalt and not thou may. So we applied for a grant to replace all of our radios because all our current radios do not have the technology to take the latest and greatest encryption chip. So we got $183,000 to go towards buying new radios for our department. Additionally, so one of the things actually I'm kind of most proud of, for a long time, as you know, Chief, Ben Harbor was a revolving door. It's no longer that. Actually, we are becoming a destination department, which I don't think anyone who started 20 years ago or more would see. But we have people on staff now that come from like other jobs, other companies, other departments. We have one of our staff members, one of our part-time fire guys is an actual emergency room doctor. We have one of our guys who actually just passed the bar. So we have an attorney on staff. So we're really excited on where we're going to go with that. Again, I can go on and on and on. We'll probably put out some press releases. Hopefully I can get Louise to do an article. Again, I don't have time to talk about every single thing. Again, we got crime numbers down. We got things that are happening that are going up. Again, us working together, we're solving bad guys. So those numbers go down on both sides of the dividing line, the line. So again, I can go on and on. We do have today is so May the first Thursday in May of each year is National Day of Prayer. It had traditionally been over in St. Joe. They're doing it today here in the city at the Old Salvation Army. That'll be at 6:00 for anybody that wants to come and participate in that, praying for the city. I haven't actually been involved with this planning one, so I know the people doing it. I trust them greatly. They do a lot of prayer for the city, which we need. And of course, we got the Heralded Blossom Time next weekend. So I'm going to give you, that's the abbreviated Cliff Note version. Again, there's a ton of things that have happened or happening in the city, all positive from a law enforcement perspective. Now, the last thing I will say is this. So as you know, we have our own fire academy, our own fire school. We have a 96% completion rate, which I believe is the top in the state. And the main firefighter book, Benton Harbor Department of Public Safety, is included as one of the departments. There'll be photos from our fire school that are in this nationally published fire book textbook. So I would be dropping the mic because now we are, and I said before, a nationally rated fire department on the fire side. And I think it speaks volumes and proves my point that we are in the next textbook.
That's great. That's great news. I've always heard great things about the fire department, which I know other officers as well. And it seemed like you guys have made great gains, great strides, and continue to break barriers. Let's put it that way.
So there's a Miss Pettigrew. Good to see her. We gotta get her more active. Get her on some boards and stuff. Let me see. Oh, here we go. Here what we're saying now. All right. So we got to follow the conversation. That'd probably be my suggestion. We can't always go here. That's you can go to the meetings and do that. Uh, so yeah. Ben Harper, that's what's kind of going on both sides. Chief, I don't know if you got a chance to get into your stats, but as of right now, again, keeping it abbreviated, we definitely want to hear from you. And one of the things that we have in the works, oh, just kind of another update, Chief. You remember about 3-4 weeks ago, we had a citizen that was texting us. So here, this is important. Remember, she was calling us each kind of back to back to back,
Yes.
making contact with her, and she was a Latina that had been in the area all her life, and she gave some very very good suggestions on how we can help to kind of matriculate the Latinos. We have a lot of Latinos in the city for sure, and I'm sure in the township. And they're so far they're wonderful. They're great citizens. They're renting homes. They're buying homes. They're starting businesses. Their kids are out playing. We have no problem. And some of the transition is kind of a culture shock. Like for example, you can't have chickens in the city.
Right.
Some things that might be their culture where they came from, not necessarily here. So she had the idea to putting on a forum for the Latinos in the area to give them information, and we had the idea to so they don't feel uncomfortable to not to be sponsored by the police or a police event, but by local churches. And Pastor Maurice McAfee, good friend of ours, has agreed to be the venue for that. So we want to put that together because of course, we have to address all of our citizens, where they are. So I give that example as if you have a great idea, contact us. Again, we flash our numbers um, in the credits here. Give us a call, email us. Look forward to sitting down and hearing what citizens suggest or some things they think might help. And again, we're seeing a growing number of people cooperating and participating and contacting us and helping the police. And that only makes us all, our community, safer on both sides of the border. So that's pretty much I have, Chief. This is Chief Abrams' number. Again, he's open. He's all about his people. So give us a call. You can shoot us emails. I think we got one request on here to come and meet. Yes. Yeah, absolutely. So I'll reach out to you after the show, and that's what we have. So, Chief, you have anything
Just
else?
one last thing. We don't forget we have National Night Out coming up.
Oh yeah,
I've spoken with Artelia, who's the manager out there, and they're going to have another meeting real soon. They're going to give us a call about, and I did tell her, we're going to always support National Night Out and do what we have to do to make that a success. So hopefully that'll give the community something to look toward. But I wish I could do something even bigger and better with National Night Out. I've been throwing ideas around in my head, wondering if we can do more to bring even more of our citizens out. Because it's a big deal. You know, it's one of the things that you know you and I put together, man. That was once again not seen before. We
yeah.
started that National Night Out on Main Street, and it's been a great success since then. So, my thing is at this point, it's probably time to improve on it. See what we could do a little bit big, a little bit better, make it a little bit bigger, maybe add in some things. And as you've seen, it's grown. It is every year, man, it's grown. We have more sponsorship, we have more vendors, and who knows, where we can go with this. So I want to look at doing more with the National Night Out.
I totally agree. So let me address this comment here. So brick sailboat, yes, that is annoying me to death too. I'm gonna put something out to my guys to make sure that they remember semi trucks cannot be parked in the city. They cannot. They can only operate on 6 roads in the city. So that is just basically somebody being lazy, and we have to take enforcement to that. And I'm writing that down. Semis. Thank you for that. That is something that is an annoyance. So getting back to what you just said, Chief, one thing we could do is you can get your butt in that dunk tank. That might,
Mariana, she just threw me under the bus. She said more dunking.
yeah,
Last
yeah,
hey,
because she
last time
probably
I
tired
went
of
to
seeing her
dunk,
chief in the
came
dunk
up
tank.
with,
Only her chief on this side of the dunk tank. Is probably what she's saying. Thank you,
oh
Mary
shucks.
Adams.
I'm gonna do the dunk tank. I got you. I'm there.
Yeah. So yeah, I know you hurt your toe when the time you're in there. There's a way to kind of fall. That's the key when they do it. So Um, and also, while we're kind of on this, so National Night Out for those who don't know what that is or don't have heard of it, it is a national program where on the first Tuesday in August of every year, police and communities come together. There is generally one theme, and again, we've been doing it in Benton Harbor for what six,
Seven
7 years
seven
now.
years. Yep.
And ours started out actually ours is bigger than if you would take the other jurisdictions and put them together. So I think at the biggest we had pre-COVID, we were over 1,000 people that came into downtown Benton Harbor. You'll see, police cars, fire trucks, crime scene. We got candy. We got snow cones. Oh my God, we got snow cones.
Yes,
and
you
and,
do.
th- and that's how I'm able to kind of get a tentative number of how many people by how many snow cones we do. And mind you, not everyone gets a snow cone. So when I say over 1,000 people, we did 1,000 snow cones. If I say 600 people, we did 600 snow cones. That doesn't count again those who don't. We give away free backpacks. We give away hundreds and hundreds of backpacks, school supplies, anything and everything for young kids to start school is what we give away. Um, we give away
Bikes.
bikes.
Yep.
One of our greatest, and I love these guys. I love these guys. The Rough Riders. Those
Oh
guys
yeah.
are doing stuff in the community like you wouldn't believe. They're a group of great guys. I'm not a motorcycle guy myself. I know motorcycle groups sometimes I think get a bad rap from TV. They're not nothing like that. They are 100% supporting their community. All of those guys, so they are great contributors. Sometimes we got to grab the mic from one of them because they get happy. But so that's what we do. We do that going into the start of school. It's a great celebration. We have other things that we do, and you're right. How do we make it bigger and better? And then lastly, let's switch gears. How are we coming on the car show we talked about? You got an update on that?
I actually do not have an update, but I promise to have one next week. It's been a little bit busy. Yeah. Oh, I was supposed to meet with your young lady there to go over a few things, and that meeting has not happened yet. I thought you gave her my numbers so we can talk about some of the things I may need to do to make sure I get this thing off right. But so I was kind of waiting in a way. I probably shouldn't have, but I was just I got the spot. We just need to know the logistics of the situation so we can do it the right way.
Okay, I'll follow up on that on our end. So, okay, sir. Again, citizens out there, if you need to contact myself, again, these are our direct down numbers, not kind of going through a switchboard. That's my office. If I'm not here, please leave a message. Some people like to call back to back to back to back. Of course, that's not productive. And if I can't answer the phone, it's probably because I'm busy. A lot of meetings and whatnot. Here's Chief Abrams. If you want to reach out and contact him, this is his direct dial number. And I think that's it. Thank you for our citizens that are on here. Thank you for the comments. Thank you, Brick's Elbow, for bringing that very annoying semi truck piece up. I'm gonna put a message out to my guys about that. And remember, next week we won't be on because Chief Abrams and I will be in Kalamazoo because we have graduates coming out of the police academy. So we have one. I'm not sure how many you have, Chief.
We have two.
Okay, coming out, they're gonna start their careers, hit FTO, and yeah. So we will be back the following week because the graduation is the same time that Chat with the Chief would be on.
Right.
So okay, Benton Harbor, we thank you for joining us for another episode of Chat with the Chief. Again, generally we're on every Thursday at 1:00. Pending something happening or changing, and we look forward to talking to you all in a couple of weeks. Again, let's keep up the good work. If you see something, say something. Help us make Benton Harbor and Benton Township better than they were before. So, with that being said, Chief, we're out, and we'll talk to you, Benton Harbor, Benton Township, a couple weeks.